Hello there. I'm your host, Pulkit Arora, and this is Achievers Journey. Before we proceed, I will request that go down below and click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future discussions that we have. This is the second episode, and I am honored and excited to welcome a very special guest here, Rajesh Achanta. He is a vice president with Procter and Gamble. He leads supply chain for Asia Pacific region. Super excited for all the learning that lies ahead for you and me as we hear from Rajesh. Rajesh, welcome to Achiever Journey.
Yeah, thank you, Pulkit. I'm glad to be here.
Let's get started first on the journey that you have had. I think it has been a phenomenal run with Procter and Gamble. Did you think you're going to make it this far and get to a vice president when you started your journey?
No, frankly, I came to P&G to escape university. About 80% of my graduating class went to the US after we finished my undergrad degree, and about 15% to business school. And the only thing I was clear of was I didn't want to study anymore. So I said, I'm going to take a 2-year break, join a small company in a big city, and see what the experience is like, clear my own head around what I really wanted to do. So my objective when I came in was 2 years, and then figure out whether I wanted to go the B school route or whether I wanted to do a master's in the US on the technical side. But here I am, 36 years later, but having enjoyed every moment in my career.
Are there any 2-3 factors that you would attribute for your success of what you've achieved coming this far with P&G?
Well, I think first of all, I would say the P&G environment itself is conducive to success. I think I see myself as being incredibly lucky that I just took opportunities that came along the way, and I got to work with some amazing people. People who worked with me, people who worked on my teams, but people who I worked for. And I would say I got plain lucky. I don't attribute anything to any special ability. I think the institution, the environment that we have makes it possible for anyone that is willing to learn, willing to take opportunities that come their way, and willing to contribute and make an impact. I think success is in most ways guaranteed. Now, of course, it depends on what you define as success. For me, success was not about getting to any position or level. And I think, therefore, the anxiety around I need to get here or there quickly was never there. My definition of success was I wanted to learn as much as I could, make as big of an impact as I could on the business, and then, work with folks and help them grow. And I think by that definition of success, I've had a lot, and I'm very grateful to the folks around me and the institution that allowed me to experience all of that.
I'm sure you would have received some fantastic advice, whether it's career advice or how do you grow, how do you achieve success the way you have kind of designed for yourself. What would be top 1 or 2 or 3 best advice that you would say that you have received on?
Yeah, well, I think I would say the answer to that, if you had asked me 20 years ago, the answer would have been very different to what it is today. I had, this notion that I had to do a particular role in order to be successful. So in the first part of my journey, it was to be a plant manager. And I felt like that would be the pinnacle of success. So I did become a plant manager, maybe 10 years into my career. And then I said, now what? Because whatever I had set out to do in terms of choosing a position, I had sort of gotten there. So I think once I got past that point, I recognized that success can be defined a lot more broadly. That I happen to work in an industry where, frankly, there's no barrier to entry. Anyone can make soap or shampoo or detergent, and therefore, for an organization to continue to thrive, to be successful, like P&G has been for over 180 years, I think we have to constantly improve, and that's the only way to keep succeeding for the institution. But I said, I think that applies to me as a person too. I think the ability to keep getting better every single day is what keeps me going. So my definition of success has become more general, if you will. So it is around Do I have the opportunity, and am I making use of the opportunity to get better every day? Am I able to play to my strengths? So therefore, does the environment I'm in, the team I'm working with, the managers I work with, do they give me the space to be able to do what I like to do best? And again, I would say in the first part of my career, I would have thought, no, everything is defined for you. I think I learned later on in my career that no, you can shape every job the way you want it to, and I think I've been able to do that, and that makes me productive, but also makes me much more satisfied with work. So I come to work every morning, between 7:30 and 8 in the morning. The same degree of enthusiasm as I had when I first joined this company, 35 plus years ago. And I think it boils down to that fact that I could shape work the way I wanted to, and keep doing things that interested me, but in a way that still served the business that I was working on.
Like you said, the definition of success of what one aspires to achieve changes, varies person to person and can change definitely with life stage. But looking back, I expect a lot of listeners to be young professionals or MBA students or students otherwise. Would you suggest anything on the outlook on how people should look at success itself to be different as they start off their journey?
Yeah, I think the two pieces I would say, one is don't get hung up on a position. And number two is follow your curiosity and look at how to translate that curiosity, the knowledge that you acquire. How can you apply that to make a difference to the business? Because in the end, if the business succeeds, you succeed. If the business fails or goes down the tubes, no matter how good you are, what you do, it doesn't matter. You don't have a career because the organization you work for may not exist anymore. So I think the ability to be able to do what you enjoy doing, but in the service of business that you work on, in a way that makes the business successful. So I think many years ago I learned this phrase which I really like, the notion of an adult business deal. And the notion of the adult business deal is that you succeed when the business succeeds, and you can succeed only if the business is successful. And when the business is successful, of course, it creates opportunities and gives you the room to expand, grow, continue to succeed and go further. So that's the other thing that I would say. Convert the curiosity and knowledge and mastery you acquire to serve business outcomes, to make an impact.